Dan, what are we in today?
My 97 Viper GTS, which you could tell because it's smaller than a smart car in here. Do you know what I mean?
We just passed a smart car.
Did we actually?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I planned that. Oh, shit.
All right, so you've owned this car for what, about a year and a half, 2 years now?
I don't know. 2 years? Yeah, 2 years.
You had this before the Huracan.
Yeah, 2 years.
So
2 years. Yeah.
Why?
I love this. What?
Why did you initially buy this?
This was my dream car growing up, to be quite honest.
This was your poster car.
Yeah.
This is what you saw around town. Once in a while.
Even once in a while. Not even like, it wasn't even like common.
Not common.
No, it wasn't at all.
So
not even a bit. This car, I remember one of my, not really my friend, but a kid that I went to school with, his dad was like an executive at Chrysler.
Right.
And he got driven in a Viper every once in a while, and it was like the same car. Maybe not the same car as this, but like it was like
pretty close.
Yeah, it was like a first gen or something like that.
So this is,
I would have been in grade school. Yeah.
So this is technically a second gen.
Yeah.
Which Viper generations are interesting.
Yeah.
And this is a 97. So is there a reason you chose a 97, or was this something that fell kind of into your hands?
Yeah.
A little bit?
So the reason why I chose a 97. To be honest with you, I wish that the second gen cars would have had side pipes.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like this car is missing. But I know people like the second gen, and especially the 97 to 99 for the forged motors, which is why a lot of people like them.
Right.
Right? Because you can do, you know, you can throw a supercharger on here and you don't have to change anything.
Take a couple pounds of boost.
Yeah, yeah. So I know a lot of people like that aspect of these cars, and to them that's valuable. So that's why I ended up choosing this one. It was a local car. I didn't know the guy, but I knew a few people that knew the guy, and this car is completely original, like literally original.
It's one of the cleaner examples out there.
Yeah, exactly. Like some totally, you know, 20,000 kilometers on the car.
Okay, so
heat on in here?
Nope, there's no heat on in here whatsoever. So
another
side note, you want to talk about it?
About what? How?
Exhaust beside us?
Yes, this. Yeah, I thought that was the expressway. Yeah, this car, you don't need the heat in the wintertime or even in the cold, because the cats run alongside of the door.
So they're literally the side skirt underneath this sill we're sitting in. Yeah. That's where that's all routed, and it's like it's toasty in here.
So it's getting hot.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, it actually is getting hot. Just a quick break in the ditch, eh?
All right, so
the weather stripping in this car is pretty sealed. Yeah. You hear that?
Yeah. So you mentioned that this was a dream car at the time, maybe something you probably didn't think was attainable, obviously.
Yeah.
Now that you've bought it, is it a don't meet your heroes car?
No, I actually like this car. So although this is like a super car to drive, because the driving position is awful, the cabin is like wildly, like for a big car, this is a big car.
It's so wide.
Yeah, for a big car, long. It's like so small in here. Like I'm 6 feet. I don't even know how the you fit in here. Jesse's 6'5".
Not well.
Like, yeah, you don't fit good at all.
I mean, if I sit up straight, I'm up here.
Yeah. So I got to lean a little bit. I got the lean going on. But like, if I can't even, I got like 6 inches, and then my head's hitting the thing here. So it's not the best car to drive. There's no traction control. So like when you're like, literally, you can let out the clutch so easy in this car and still spin, especially when the tires are like, it's cold outside, obviously.
And these are 335s in the back.
Yeah.
They're 335s and they're 17s. You guys go look at how many tire options there are for this and how much they cost.
Are they expensive?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
If you can find them.
Oh, really?
I think. I think it's more of a battle of finding them versus paying money for them.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's another factor too. Like obviously it's cold outside right now, and you know when we first started, you know they were kind of spinning, but even in the summertime when I would drive this car, I'm telling you, it was so like there's like no traction in this car. This car has zero traction whatsoever. Like it's honestly shocking how like limited the traction in this car is. And but it's actually cool to drive. I love driving manual cars. There's nothing like, actually I was talking to somebody on the weekend who has a brand new C8.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you know, I love the gear shifting and all this stuff. And he's like, it's sick. Like you could put it in manual mode. But I'm like, no, it's not the same. He's like, well, what do you mean it's not the same? I said, do you know how to drive stick? Do you know how to drive manual? He's like, no. And I'm like, you don't know what, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
It's not the same.
No, it's not
and so I think some people can attest the fact that, would you want to drive your Huracan as a manual?
What do you mean?
At that level of speed, do you want to be thinking about clutching in and shifting gears?
You can't drive that car.
Exactly.
No.
But this is still the level of power and manageability where this thing feels a lot faster than it actually is. Because it makes like what, 500 foot-pounds of torque at like 2 RPM. Yeah. Literally. Yeah, it's just a
fast car. Well,
it's just,
it doesn't feel fast. I tell you what feels fast about this car. It feels fast simply because it's big, number one. Am I going the right way here?
Yep.
And whenever, for some reason, when you're driving a manual car, they feel like wildly fast.
Yep.
And that's what I actually like about them. For some reason, like you could drive the slowest car in the world, but if it's manual, like it feels fast. For some reason. I don't know why that is. And it must be because you're actually driving the car. You know what I'm saying? You know what I do love about this car too? Is that this car, how old is this thing? It's 23 years old.
Yeah.
23 years old, and it still fits right in with any kind of modern sports car.
So think of it this way. Look at a 97 C5 Corvette. Like, look at this compared to a Corvette of the same time period.
Yeah,
and just think about the difference of an impact this has versus that.
Literally, when you look at that kind of, like this era Corvette, you're like, that's a 90s car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
a 90s car, 100%. Yeah, bring it up, flash it on the screen.
Yeah.
But this car, for some reason, it's kept its like youth.
Yeah. Still has that same impact or that status it had.
Even the interior on this car is so cool, man, with the white gauges and everything.
Yeah.
Even where they're like placed, like up here in the dash, super cool, man. I actually really like it.
And I mean, these interiors were to begin with, so it can't get worse. Like, it's still, you know what I mean? It's like your Cobra.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they were doing at the time.
It's not bad. I don't mind it. And you know what I actually do like? I actually like how high the center console is. You know what
it's
I'm
just
talking
like
about?
Shifting this car is like butter. It's
like it.
It's a T56, same trans as the Cobra, different obviously spec inside, but it's so natural the way your hand falls.
It really is. Like that's why I actually like it.
If you look, it's actually really close to the steering wheel. Like you probably fit your one finger on each at the same time.
Huh? Yeah.
That's how you know a shifter's close.
Like in terms of a stick car, this is actually a pretty easy car to drive.
I don't find it bad at all.
Like,
I think
now here's the thing though, the travel in this car for the clutch, my God, it is enormous.
And the other one to me is the fact that because of the trans, if I'll put in a clip where there's more room where we are compared to up here, so we're sitting on an angle facing the outside of the car.
Yeah.
The clutch is right against the outside of the car.
Yeah.
There's no dead pedal, and you're kind of driving on a slant. It's so unnatural.
You're literally like, you literally feel like this.
Yeah.
And you literally feel like this, and the steering wheel is like also like facing that. You know what I mean? You see the steering wheel? It's
Everything is just cocked a couple of degrees
outside.
to the left
Because of the
trans.
Yeah, because of the trans. Which is crazy how big it is. I will say this. This car feels like it wasn't well put together. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I know it's hand built and everything, but a lot of shit feels like it's gonna fall apart. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it doesn't feel tight, and it could be a factor of, you know, being 23 years old, which I don't think it is, though, to be quite
I don't think it is, because the same. Look at your Cobra. It's these things, the interior, like.
Yeah, like
it's just a matter of,
just like even when you get back in gear, it's just kind of everything is clunking and it's like.
And these are like
right.
Everything.
There's turbulence in my ear here. You know, it's a sick car though. I don't care.
They are awesome cars.
Like, this car from behind is sick. The clamshell hood is sick.
You love it for its flaws.
Oh yeah. I don't know why I like this car so much. It's an awful car. It's an awful car. Like, I think I like it because it's when I say it's easy to drive, it's easy to drive because I know how to drive it. But when I first got into it, it wasn't easy to drive. The clutch is super long. You've got so much like this the whole time. You know what I'm saying? The play in the clutch is like enormous. It's huge.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool though. I like it though.
Absolutely.
You feel like a man when you drive this car.
Yep. No doubt.
You feel like a man. I want to grow a mullet and smoke like a pack of players. You know what I mean?
So, you use the term time capsule.
Yeah.
Like the Cobra. I'm assuming that means no plans for this car, just keeping it how it was made and intended to be used type thing?
The only thing that I would ever maybe consider doing to this car is an exhaust.
Yeah, they sound pretty nasty with exhaust.
Yeah, that's it. But only a bolt-on. That's it.
Yeah, like a catback.
I'm not cutting pipes. I'm not doing any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But only maybe an exhaust. And maybe not even.
It sounds pretty good. Like it.
Yeah. I don't mind the actual
It's
sound.
pretty lopey, and when we're idling, it shakes. Like.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
A car like this, I'm much more interested in keeping it, you know, relevant to, you know, how it actually like rolled off the line.
Yeah.
That's what I think is like way cooler.
In another 10 years, it'll seem pretty special looking at an example like this, even though it's not like you're buying them to look at them, but you know, people do appreciate that, and it's cool to see, because it's not something you see all the time.
No. Yeah, super cool car. You like that? You like that? You like that? Is that good? Am I eating sandwiches now, motherfucker? Hey? Huh? How about that?
You making a sandwich between those shifts? No.
Was I doing it bad?
No, it's slow.
Was it?
Yeah.
You asshole. You